So I think we're going to be live. We're going to be.
You gonna be?
Eventually.
In a few minutes
No.
now.
All right.
There we are.
Yay. Hello,
Yay.
everyone.
Yep, I got it.
I'm Lonnie.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Ashley.
We are Untitled Nerd Network. Brought to you by Infinity Flux and your local Satanist.
Yeah, those are our sponsors.
Yeah, no, I was sitting there looking because I want to make
what
sure
happened
our.
here? I clicked it and it said that the broadcast ended.
Yeah,
No.
mine's doing that too.
Let me close it and try again. Sometimes
God,
I have
I
to do that.
hope not.
According to this, yeah, we're not live, and I don't know.
I mean, this is what it was doing to me earlier. I think that everything's going to be fine. It's just not going to work on my app.
Is it working on your app?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but anyway, we are live, I guess.
Ow.
I don't know.
And half of Ashley, and
Half of Ashley.
we were like leaning out of camera. Okay. But anyway, tonight's episode of The Walking Dead was called The Bridge, and I was much more impressed with this episode than last week.
Oh yes, it was so much better.
Yeah, I agree.
This episode was amazing. We actually got to see zombies.
And
When was the last time we got to see some good zombie gore on the show? Like, for real.
It has been a
It's
little
been a
while.
while, like, because, you know, they had the all-out war last season, and you rarely saw zombies, actually. You know?
Oh yeah, like
It was mostly people.
I mean, you bet.
Which,
The zombies
is
were used
okay.
as weapons, basically.
yeah, but
Um,
goodness, cool. Honestly.
well, at least Glenn's on tonight.
Yay, Glenn.
So the this episode, like, we actually got to see Aaron lose an arm. We got to see
Oh yes, that was great because they sent the doctor to the other town.
I
Negan's
really
been training, and of course, right after, you know, he leaves, she has to amputate someone. It was freaking awesome too.
yeah, I should have seen that coming a mile away because, you know, we talked at one point about, you know, that's the best way. You know, like if a doctor ever shows up and there's already a doctor there, one of the doctors is going to die. The old doctor's probably going to die. Well, this one, like, you know, as soon as you only have,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw them both together, and I was like, "Holy crap! Is somebody gonna die?"
well, you have somebody
I
there,
wonder.
and then you have like a new doctor or somebody, you know, it's like, oh, you know, you're not quite ready, but we're going to leave you here. What's the worst that can happen? Something's going to happen.
Doesn't the last person they do that way like get killed? What's her name? What's her name's girlfriend?
Yeah,
She was like
Tara's girlfriend.
Tara's girlfriend. I don't remember her name right off the top of my head. But
She's the one
yeah,
that got the arrow through the head.
yeah, they left her there to, like, you know, man the pharmacy and do little things, and she died.
Have we haven't seen Dwight, have we?
No. I'm wondering where. Well, he took off though, didn't he? He took off looking for his wife.
He'll be back.
You think so?
Yeah.
Unless he got by one of them people.
He plays a major part in the comics.
Well, so did Carl, and look where he's at.
Yeah, actually, Carl, in the comics, Carl was the one who was going and talking to Negan. He was sneaking down there when nobody knew about it and was talking to him.
Now Rick's doing it.
Yeah, Rick's doing it now. So, yeah. But it was neat to see Negan. Negan seems pretty sure of himself. Here's the thing. Negan's realist. Negan knows people. And I'll go ahead and say Rick painted the picture of the episode to be a lot better than it really was.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, you know, somebody lost an arm. We just little problems here. You know, things are starting to unravel at the seams.
That's where they kill all them zombies. Sorry.
Well, I mean, the people situation,
Axe Bloody Spray Walker.
Is oh
Sorry.
yeah, the Talking Dead
I'm
is
a little distracted. They rolled him over with logs.
Lumberjack.
Like we were getting run over with logs in that pitfall game last night.
Those were logs.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
were
or
logs.
barrels.
Well, I don't know what they were.
Because you're out in the woods. They're logs.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
The episode was great. I mean, it began and ended.
I said Aaron's arm. Rest in peace. I'm sorry.
I'm
You
gonna have
should
to
have
like
never
start.
left this on.
Yeah, I
Be
shouldn't
watching
have.
it.
I really shouldn't have. Because now, like all the few viewers that we have are gonna be like, oh, the Talking Dead is on. Click, turn us off. Turn it
They
on.
wouldn't have even turned us on if they knew this was on. Don't even try to give them credit like that.
That's probably very true. Speaking of I can't look and see how many viewers we have in the app or in the web browser. Okay, cool. It's probably us.
Yeah, it's up. That's
But
a win.
The episode was good. We actually got to see a herd. I really like. Here's the thing. A lot of saviors are leaving. 6, 7 saviors have left this project, and when they leave, they're disappearing.
Mhm.
Nobody knows what's happening to them. They're not going back to Sanctuary. We assume they're dying.
Yeah, because
Well,
they don't think they're going AWOL because they're leaving behind family.
Yeah, they had that one guy who was a jerk. He left. Rick basically told him to leave in the morning. He was like, "No, I'm going to leave right now." So he leaves. And of course, you've got a bad guy who's stumbling by himself, drunk, from point A to point B at night during the zombie apocalypse. You know he's not going to make it.
Right.
Well, I was thinking that it was going to be the Whisperers, which we talked last week. There's this group in the comics who dress up in zombies. They disguise themselves as zombies, and then, like, we know they're going to show up at some point this season. But I don't think he would have reacted the way he did at the end of the episode.
Yes.
To
he acted like he knew the person.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Is
Dwight.
Maybe it is. Maybe Dwight's killing off saviors if they leave.
Maybe Dwight is recruiting his own little group again.
Maybe.
With people who are disgruntled and leaving.
I don't know all that. Oh, whatever. Anyway. I don't know. Maybe he thinks they're abandoning camp, and so he's killing them. Because he thinks Negan was wrong, and he's afraid they're going to do something like that again, and he's just picking them off.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Can I say that I'm impressed that Rick has himself together after losing Carl, and he's not still, like, losing his shit? Because you know how long it takes him to, like, regain himself after he loses somebody.
Well, he was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's almost like he focused losing Carl as, like, resolve to beat
true.
Negan. Like, he knew that if he didn't go up against Negan, he was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, he may have lost his crap because it's been a while between the end of season 7 or 8 and the beginning of season 9. So
he said it was what, like, it's been like, what, 47, 57 days?
Well, it had been 35 days on the bridge.
Yeah.
So.
Not be like 3 months tops, I guess.
Yeah, because the way we talked about the time jump last episode, there had to have been just. It wasn't long enough. It was long enough just to get everything situated and have elections, but it wasn't long enough. I'm saying, like.
It was long enough for Maggie to give birth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like.
Maggie went from not showing
to having somebody that's about to crawl.
Yeah, to having, what, a 1-year-old. Or. How old's that? I don't know. Kids? A year?
No. You better hope they're walking at a year.
Okay, so we're looking. I'm gonna say a year. Right?
No.
We're talking 6 months. 6 months of pregnancy, 6 months of kid growing.
Maybe.
Okay. So sure. I'm guessing a year.
Okay.
Just based.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Purely off. I'm just trying to guess how much time we've got here.
Regardless,
we did see Maggie decide to let dude out of jail who had tried to kill her at Gregory's behest, and it was really kind of tugged on her heartstrings because Herschel was an alcoholic way back when, and this dude was recovering, and there were a lot of parallels that got her attention and tugged at her heartstrings. So she let him
all
go.
Well and good, but honestly, she's about to be on my last damn nerve. I never really cared for her much as a character anyway, and now she's just really like she's still bent on revenge, and like I get it, but you cannot live your life like that.
You can't lead people like that.
You cannot, not with hate in your heart like that.
Yeah.
No, you only see.
Involved.
Yeah, you only see your personal view. She's like, oh, I'm going to continue to do what's good for my people. No, that's not completely true. She's not doing for her people. She's doing for her own purpose.
Yeah, and I think she needed a little more time to learn how to lead. She's not a natural born leader.
She's not.
Not like Rick is.
She's bossy.
Yeah.
As ever. You can tell she was the oldest sibling, but she's not the leader. I mean, you can. It's true.
That's actually pretty funny.
I speak from personal experience.
The
Told me that the other night.
Yeah.
we actually got to see Gabriel hook up with Jadis. Well, we didn't get to see it, but it was very much implied.
Very much implied. With his one eye. Looking badass.
Well, the helicopter thing.
That was a little scary.
Look, she knew that there's a helicopter buzzing around. She's somehow connected to it because it was at the junkyard last season. A helicopter. There might be more than one. I really, really think that she has some connection to the Commonwealth, which is a place that we haven't seen yet, but it's been implied. The Georgie, the woman who came and seen Maggie last season, I guarantee she's from the Commonwealth.
I could totally see her being connected and being like, I can't be a part of this. This is too much for me, and leaving. And that's why she was living in a garbage dump. It's the complete opposite.
I think she might be kind of like a scout, and then or a diplomat or something. But something's not quite right. I don't know.
I don't think for her, if she was a scout, there was kind of a look of fear in her eyes when she saw that. Fiber?
Yep.
Oh man.
So we don't have stuff.
Oh well. Well, we heard it though.
We heard it. I'm not really sure what happened.
It doesn't tell you.
Well, it did the first time you guys streamed on here. That's why I'm like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Like, I kind of wish I would have left it up.
Oh well.
Bah! Thank you, whoever that was.
Thanks. You're the best.
For following, subbing, whatever it may be. Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, you got the helicopter thing. Let's see.
Stay Linky, I assume.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Glenn's son.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Like, God, I'm missing something from this episode.
Well, there's quite a bit.
What about your man?
Well, yeah, I spoke about Negan, appearing just the very tail end, like the last 30 seconds. And I cannot wait. It's going to be a ways off. It's going to be after the Whispers, everything else. But the last time we've seen Negan in the comic books, they almost act like he's left and gone forever. But he does eventually get a face-to-face with Maggie, eventually. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. They're teasing us right now. I really think they're going to show Negan just in tiny little bits throughout the first half of the season. And when this whole thing with the Whisperers kicks off, we're going to get full Negan. And I can't wait. And he's going to end up back with Lucille. They haven't showed Lucille. They've got that bat around somewhere. In the comic book, it's actually hanging above the fireplace or up on the mantle in Rick and Michonne's house. The bat is. It's cleaned up. It's hanging there. Then there is a part eventually, I can't remember when, but Dwight ends up with a bat. And then I think Dwight gives Lucille to Negan at some point. Things get really bad, and he hands Lucille to Negan. And then, like, later on is when Negan goes up against one of the Whisperers and, like, tries to beat the guy with Lucille, and Lucille just breaks into, like, 4 pieces.
Oh, God, I would have cried.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, anyway. But he basically told Rick, he's like, you're not doing shit. You're getting things ready for me.
Yeah, and I think
that's what he basically
I think that's
said.
partially true. Number one, I think Negan's kind of full of himself. But number two, Negan knows people.
Hold on a minute. Lynn, did you just now realize I was here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was kind of late in the game.
I know. I've kind of been sitting here the whole time. I don't know.
It's pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
Because you colored your hair.
Maybe that's it. I'm in disguise.
He was distracted by your glow-in-the-dark shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. We got Negan. Aaron lost an arm. There's a big herd of zombies. Oh, Daryl.
They kept calling Horatio, and I had to tell these two that it was a hurricane.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what they're referring to herds as. It's hurricane.
Freaking Daryl beat the hell out of that guy.
Oh,
Daryl's getting tired of the sanctuary.
Daryl's so tired of their shit.
Look, I'll go ahead and say that there's a couple of things. Number one, Daryl is right. He's got that thing, like most of the people in the sanctuary are not workable. Like
I don't know about all that.
These people are they've been so used to this way of life. It's going to be really hard to transition a lot of them into this new, that they're so used to, like, here's the thing, like, we talked about it a little bit last week. They're used to being ruled under an iron fist.
He's seen me in so many videos, but because, of his recreational activity, he's never put 2 and 2 together. So
that's actually pretty funny.
That is actually pretty funny. Hilarious.
Wow.
But the thing with the sanctuary, that they're like a society who's been used to being ruled under a dictator and like an iron fist, so to speak. But at the same time, these soldiers from the sanctuary have gone out and collected supplies to bring in. Now, sanctuary it's almost like they're having to pull their weight, and they're not used to that. And especially a lot of the people that you see who are having a problem with that are the soldier types who got to go out and bullcrap around and strong arm people.
Yeah.
They're so used to that, and now they're actually having to pitch in, help build bridges, so to speak, and literally.
Well, it doesn't help matters if they're not. The way Maggie's treating them still.
Maggie's treating them like they're still being treated like second-class citizens, but they're wanting them to produce like everyone else.
Yeah, and that's not right.
It's almost like a taxation without representation type thing. We all know how that turns out.
And as much as I love Daryl and his heart is kind of in the right place, but he is also like Maggie, and because he was tortured so much, he's still hung up on revenge too, and so he doesn't know when to stop. Just like Carol had to pull him up. Yeah, did that dude deserve to be hit? Yes.
Yeah. Daryl's going to kill him.
Yeah, he was. She hadn't stopped him. And
treating people like that, whether they deserve it or not, in front of other people is not a good way to build that bridge. Seriously. Oh yeah, but I'm very much. God, I can't wait to see where this goes. Because it's funny, because in the comics, now, they're really taking a lot of liberties on the TV show right now. But in the comics, just about the time you think things are going to really kick off with all the other communities versus Sanctuary is when the Whisperers show up. And then it's like, oh, God, we can't fight each other. We've got this other major threat. And
is that how they're going to
No, they still hate each other afterwards. Pretty much.
Okay.
Not as bad, but there's still some underlying BS there.
Well, that's life, I guess. I don't know.
And another thing, okay, towards the end of season 7 or season 6, when everybody knew Negan was coming, everybody knew Negan was going to kill somebody. It was like that event. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Everybody was waiting on it. Who's he going to kill? Is it going to be Glenn? Is it going to be? Could they throw a curveball and kill Rick? The big event this season that we're going to see, hopefully, is in the comics. Rick is basically, he goes to the Whisperers camp, talks to them, and they say, hey, we're sending you back. We're going to mark our border between our land and yours. Nobody crosses that border. Nobody else dies. I said, okay. So he walks, and when he sees the border, it is lined with poles in the ground, and on the poles are the heads of several prominent members of the Hilltop, Alexandria, and the Kingdom. Lots of very important people they never show the deaths. He just shows up, and holy crap, there's like half a dozen A-list characters, heads, right on these poles.
Do you think that's going to happen?
Yes. I just don't know. I honestly think that Rick might be one of the heads. And they're going to have somebody. I'll go ahead and tell you, if somebody else goes into Whisperer territory later this season instead of Rick, Rick's going to die.
And that's how they'll get rid of him.
Yep. I will know, like, if somebody goes in to talk to the Whisperers, I almost bet if Rick dies, it'll be Negan that goes in to talk to the Whisperers.
Oh, yeah.
And when Negan comes out, he'll see it. And Negan will end up leading everybody against the Whisperers, and that'll be Negan's redeeming arc. There we go.
That'd be really great.
And
I would actually like that very much.
It'll cause so many problems because Maggie still won't want to forgive him.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be so many people who still hate Negan.
Yep.
And I just have the feeling that's what's going to happen.
I love it.
Because Negan, regardless of what it is, Negan respects Rick.
Yeah.
Like they talk a big game.
They have a mutual respect for each other.
They talk a big game to each other. But
Negan respects him.
I genuinely think that if someone were to kill Rick, Negan would be pissed off about it.
Oh yeah.
If nothing else, because he wasn't the one that did it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's kind of like me and my siblings can mess with each other, but if somebody on the outside comes in, and I really think, especially because Rick has come in and talked to him so much, I think Rick really, in a weird sense, is the closest thing Negan has to a friend, besides the Bat. And
the Bat.
Look, the story behind Lucille, really quick, the abridged version.
Hold on. That's B.B. King's guitar name. I wonder if that's the thing. No, I'm just kidding.
The story behind Lucille, the Bat, in a nutshell, is Negan, before the apocalypse, Negan was a gym teacher, like a gym coach at a high school. He played ping pong and stuff with his kids. His wife gets sick, ends up in the hospital. Meanwhile, Negan is having an affair with a woman on the side. And so once he finds out his wife is sick, has cancer, is dying, he breaks it off with a woman, goes to be with his wife. His wife dies in the hospital. At the exact same time the zombie apocalypse starts, his wife dies, reanimates. He leaves her there, can't bring himself to kill her. Leaves, ends up with some survivors, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, his wife's name was Lucille. He created the Bat, named it after her. End of story. Well,
which is actually pretty empowering. Because
yeah,
like I'm just gonna use Lucille.
Yep. So that's it. That's pretty much it for the episode. 1 to 10 ratings, everybody.
11. This was
Really?
amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a really good episode. I needed some zombie kills in there.
Yeah. I'm really like I hate it.
And then the bone sticking out before
Oh,
they
God,
amputated it. Oh my God,
That
it was
was
so
gnarly.
awesome.
Are we gonna get a number from you tonight?
Yeah, tonight. So I
You made it.
I'm just so happy. You're coming around a little bit.
Aww.
Baby steps. I'm not pushing. I'm just freaking happy.
so I love and hate at the same time when an episode ends on a cliffhanger. And
All the time here.
Yeah, get used to that on this show.
so, but anyway, for that reason alone, like, okay, I'm still kind of confused on some of the characters.
Yeah.
I still don't have the investment that y'all have.
But I almost
like y'all are
feel
talking about how
if
long
this
it's been.
keeps progressing like it is this season, by mid-season, you're going to be
Probably.
there.
Yeah, you're probably right. But like, y'all are talking about, oh, it's been so long since they've done this, and this character takes a long time to recover, and I'm just like, I don't know, I can't relate to any of that stuff. But I can see, pieces coming together. I like little, so very briefly in college, I was an English major, we had to write, all these papers and read all these books and everything about, literary symbols, and this show has a lot of that. I can tell.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
The bridge not being able to be built, that kind of thing. It's just completely, metaphorical to everything that's happening in, their human relationships and everything. So, anyway, I'm going to give tonight's episode I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
So, not an
I
11.
think that's a good rating from you, though.
But, yeah.
All things considered.
All things considered. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super solid, and I can see, like Lonnie said, I can see myself, getting more into it. It's not like, there was, there's blood and gore and, zombies getting killed, humans getting killed, but it's not like a jump scare,
Nah.
horror.
Not often. Every once in a while you might get a jump scare, but not on this.
Early in the
Yeah,
series.
especially
First
early
2 or
in
3
series.
seasons, yeah. But
Yeah. And so anyway, as long as it doesn't go back to like, just straight up horror, I'm totally cool with this.
no, the Walking Dead now is a character-driven drama with a little zombie thrown in.
It's making me want to go back to seasons, say like 3. If 1 or 2 are really, horror and gory and that kind of thing, I can skip them. It's making me want to go back to like 3 and then start and then binge it and then.
Well, we'll talk about it later, but I could actually probably sit down and give you a list of maybe 3 or 4
like important
episodes that aren't scary. That I've watched this entire series like 4 times. So
at this point, yeah.
Seriously, like I watched them when they first came on. I watched them with my mom up to like season 5. Whenever it was, they ended up at Terminus.
Yeah.
Like that season finale was her last episode. And then I've watched them all again.
Reviewing them.
And then, reviewing them for the channel. And on top of that, I've watched a scattering, probably about 2 or 3 dozen episodes, just for shits and giggles,
Yeah,
so
it's a show that's like that.
Yeah.
When we had cable, God forbid when the marathon was on. If I turned it on, I'm going to be sitting there.
Yeah, you're gonna be there, and you even have them on Netflix, but you're like, no, I'm watching them on AMC.
That's how I am with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've watched the whole entire series 3 or 4 times, and I would not hesitate to sit down and watch the whole entire thing all over again. I can
get it because I watched the early episodes. It just kind of, and there were times in The Walking Dead where they kind of got off the beaten path. The Atlanta hospital episodes with Beth. I could.
You hate those, yeah.
God, just erase those.
I like Beth. I hated when she got killed. But anyway.
Because it was the guy from Everybody Hates Chris, and there was like the
yes.
There was Noah, and there was like the little meme going around that was like everybody ate Chris.
Yes.
And it like has a picture of him with the
zombies.
zombies.
Yes, that's great. Everybody.
Yeah, because he gets eaten alive. He gets trapped in a revolving door.
I forgot about that.
and Glenn is sitting there and has to watch him getting eaten alive. And
Glenn's gonna start up binging after the stream.
Sweet.
He's on episode 4 of season 2.
Yeah, he really hit him hard over the last couple of.
Well, it's not hard to finish the first season. It's only 6 episodes.
I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but was I the only one who noticed? It was either the end of this episode or the next episode little teaser that Maggie was riding in the carriage with another Asian dude.
I didn't notice that.
He looked kind of like Glenn.
Kelly Joseph did.
He resembled Glenn.
Now I want to rewind it and look back. I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll end on that. Oh, by the way.
But what if she was?
I'm gonna.
By the way.
I just thought maybe that.
Right?
But that's like seriously the only other time I've seen an Asian dude on the show.
True. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I know, but
Glad you pointed that out.
I'm making an observation. We'll look at it after this. But me, you gave it an 8. You gave it an 11. I'm going to meet y'all in the middle and give it a 9.5. This episode wasn't perfect to me, but it was pretty dang good. It just, again, it just like a little tiny
so
bit.
Bad, and he does it on purpose.
9.2.
No, I do halves.
I know.
It's like I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Negan. So.
Shut up!
I need to get me a T-shirt that says that. A picture of like Negan sitting there smiling, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of a cowbell, it's Lucille.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
For Lucille.
All right.
That's great.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap.
This, for real.
We'll see everybody. I'm going to show you all that little clip after this. But anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
I'm Ashley. And this is the same Amberlicious.
Yeah.
Who is in the chat?
Who's in the chat? Who would have known?
That's actually pretty funny. Anyway, we're Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux, your local satanist. We'll see everybody next week. But I'm going to be on tomorrow as early as I can with more Kingdom Hearts. See everybody then.